Hello, everybody. It is Sharon Wilson, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia. I hope you're going well. It is Friday, the 15th of August, 2025, and I am going to share with you a scrapbook workshop kit. I've had it for quite some time, and I really like the colours and everything, but because it's more snow-based, it's not something that I would normally do. But it was it's one of the first kits that came out that Stampin' Up brought out, the workshop kits, that Stampin' Up brought out. And so I've had it for a while, and then I lost the instructions, and then I couldn't put it together. So I had to buy another kit. And then I thought I'd bought a kit, and I didn't buy a kit. But anyway, suffice it to say, I've bought another kit now. And so I'm going to nick off with the instructions just to do my kit and then put the instructions back into the other one. But it is actually discounted really, really heavily. At the moment. It's normally the retail price was $44, and it's been reduced by 70% down to $13.20. And that is huge. It's a huge discount. It's in the last chance products list, so it's actually retiring. But I think because we're in the southern hemisphere, I think they haven't actually sold that many because we don't do Christmas the same way. And so I think it's just been, it just hasn't sold as well as what they probably would have liked. Let me just say that. So it's heavily discounted. It is available now, $13.20, and you get to create 3 double layout pages. So that in and of itself is pretty cool. Sorry, I just realized I didn't have my iPad up and running so I could see who was commenting. So there you go. Anyway, so that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a scrapbook workshop kit. It's called Snow Days, and we'll be doing 3 double layout pages, so 6 pages, as usual with the scrapbook workshop kits. I really love them because you can chop them and you can actually assemble them fairly easily. And I think once you sort of get the hang of it, you get into the motion of just going, yep, I can do this. It's fairly easy and fairly straightforward. So anyway, so the other things that are happening at the moment, of course, is the in color sale, the 15% off the 2025 to 2027 in color products. Obviously there's a couple of exclusions, but there are so many products that are actually discounted till the end of August, including designer series paper, some scrapbook workshop kits, inks, ribbons, embellishments, designer series paper, you name it. There's so many products that are available for you to get at a discounted price. So I'd love you to check them out. You can always go to sharonwilson.stampinup.net, and you can actually have a look at that as well. Anyway, let's have a look at this kit. I'm sure you're dying to have a look at it. I did also lose my light. I have 2 lights that are above me, and one of the lights came on, the other one did not. So I've had to improvise with one of my husband's lights from his truck. So I had to check that he wasn't going to be using it today. So hopefully the light is going to be okay. Just one of the many fun things that happens in our house. Anyway, so what have we got? So this is the kit. And I love the plastic that these comes in. I actually really like it. But I'm nicking off with this one so I can do my kit, and I'll just return the instructions afterwards. Sometimes, you sort of go, yeah, I lost something, and then you couldn't actually create the project you wanted to create. So in the kit, there is a sticker sheet. So you always get a sticker sheet in the kits. Usually, you sometimes get die cuts, but this one I don't believe we have die cuts. So we've got some designer series paper, snowflakes on one side, snow globes on the other, houses and candy canes, holly leaves and stripes, some green dots, and that's a plain one. So that's going to be, I think they're going to be some of our base sheets. So I'm going to set them aside. These are base sheets as well, I think. Oh, having said that, I think they are. Yes, for that one. Oh, maybe not for this one. Hang on. Hold it a moment. No, we're chopping that one. Okay. No, that one we're chopping. And then we've got a couple of pieces of Pool Party, and they're going to be base pieces. My camera keeps going out of focus by the look of it. Hopefully it doesn't do too bad. And then we've got basic white. So 2 of these will be bases as well. And then we're going to chop pieces. And yeah, okay. So I don't think I have any photo mats in this one. Yeah, that's okay. I don't usually use them anyway. Let's see. Okay, so let's start with our first one. I'll move the grid paper out of the way because we don't need that at the moment. So our first chopping, we're looking at the holly pieces. And so we're going to have one piece that's completely untrimmed. And then one that we're going to trim down. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So we're going to do this one first. And as always, we like to have our 3 spots of where we're going to put our pages 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to chop at 2.5 inches. So we want to make sure we're going the right way, the front, this way. So we're going to just chop at 2.5 inches first up. And this is going to be for page number 2. Okay. So 2.5 and then 1.5 inches. That's also page 2 and then 1 inch. And then we're 1.5. And we're actually going to be using that way, I believe. And then we have 2 half-inch pieces. I'm going to just rotate it. And these need to be chopped down to 10 inches. So we've got that piece left over. And these guys are being chopped down to 10. Excess. And excess. So they're page number 1. I'm going to put them over that side. All right, so we've done one sheet. All right, so then we've got the snow globe pieces. So we'll run through those ones. That one. And that one. I've got so many things balancing over here, it's a bit silly. All right. So we've got our snow globe and we're going to be chopping. Hang on. So cut orientation is that way. But it wants me to chop it that way, I think. Yes. We're going 4. Let me just double check. So it's saying the cut orientation is this way, but then we've got our first chop this way. So if I just skip ahead to where we've got the first page. Okay, so that's going across the top. I don't think it matters overly much. 2C. What's that one? Okay. I don't think we're really going to see it. All right. I don't think we're seeing the snow globes, is what I'm thinking. So we're doing 4 inches, 4 inches, and then 2.5 inches. So sometimes you they tell you it's got to go a certain way, but then you're not quite sure, because we're actually going to be using those pieces. So I'm not sure why it matters. But you follow the instructions. You hope that comes out in the long run, because I think that piece as well, it doesn't matter which way it went, but let's just keep doing what they say. All right, so this one again, so we're this way and we're cutting at 1 inch. I'm going to chop on this side because I've got a bit more stability and straight edgeness. 1 inch. And then this one is 5 by 7, so 5 inch. And then 7. Is that right? Yeah, and then 7 inches. Hope that's right. Let me see. So that's going to go on the double page 3s. Yep, because that's just going to go underneath. Okay, so that's number 3. So I'm going to put number 3s up there. That's our excess. All right, and then we've got the houses and the candy canes. All right, so the houses we're going to chop at 2 inches. Our first cut is across the top. Apparently. And then we're cutting this at 6 inches. And those two are both for number 1. Because I think they're both going to go that way. And this one is for number 3. So number 3 was up there. And again, we're doing this one and we're going to chop at 2 inches. And this one's going to be chopped down to 8.5 inches. And this is for page 3. And then this piece we will have at 10. So this should be a 10 by 10 piece. So 10 by 10, and that's number 3 as well. All right. And then we have 2 untrimmed greens. It doesn't actually say where they're going, so we're going to leave them. And then we've got these exclusive papers. So these are only found in this scrapbook workshop kit. So we're actually chopping that way. Oh, hang on. That's the way they want us to be. Okay, so 10 inches here. And that's page 3. That's 10 by 12. And then these two are at 1/2 inch each. Half an inch and 1/2 inch. And they're both number 1. And then we have this one, chop at 3 inches. That's page 2. And then these ones are 3 inches. And okay, so I want to chop that down to 10 inches, this one. This is the 6 by 10. And then this one's 10 1/4 inches. And this is for page 2. And then we've got 2 untrimmed again, and then we've got our white willow. So we've got 2 white willow pieces that we're going to chop. So first up, we've got 3 1/4. Yep. And then we're going to do another 3 1/4. Just having a look to see if we could not utilize as much cardstock, but that's okay. So they're both 3 1/4, those ones. And we're getting a bit furry, so I'm just going to switch out my blade so I get some nice crisp edges. Morning, Yvonne. How are you going? This next one's 4 1/4 inches. I'm going to rotate that. That's our excess. And we're going to rotate this one to be 6 1/4. That's 6 1/4. And then 3 1/4. Okay, so that one's page 1, that one's page 3. Then go back to these ones again. We've got 4 1/4 and 3 1/4. So 3 1/4 is 1. That one's actually 1 as well. And then we've got this piece left over. What's that one? That one's actually, that's 3 1/4. I can do 4 1/4 on that one. Let's do 4 1/4 because that's number 2. And then, oh, do we not have enough left? No, we don't. Okay. I'm going to do 4 1/4 on this one too. And that's number 2. Just trying to save a bit of paper here and there. All right, this one we're doing 4 1/4 inches. And just rotate to be 4 1/4 and then 6 1/4. 4 1/4, 6 1/4, and they're both full pages 1. And then you've got same again, so 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 and 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So those two are page 2. Oh, hang on. No, they're, oh, hang on. 4 1/4 is 1. Those ones are 2. Okay. And then we've got, what are we at the moment? What's the one that's, okay. So we want 4 1/4 on this one. And then 2 2.5 inches. And that is for page 1. And then we have another one that's 8.5 by 9.5. So let's trim down to 8.5 inches by 9.5. And that's for page 3. All right, I think that is all of the chopping. Okay, so if we start at page 1, so they're page 2, that's page 3, these are all page 1. So we want to get our pool party pieces out. And also we probably want to get some of our rulers out. So back in the day, morning Von. Back in the day, I used to do sewing, and I did a scrapbook. What was it? Some patchwork quilts and stuff. Not a lot of them, just and I ended up buying this tool years and years ago, and I pulled it out in the last few years, and it's actually really handy for scrapbooking, especially when it tells you you've got to lay the pieces down at certain heights. So I'm going to bring my grid paper in because I might need that as well. That's a bit of a guide. But we'll start with the page 1A. And so we have that piece up the top. And this strip is going to go in there. And then we've got that little candy canes. Our little holly strip is going to go along the bottom there too. So let's start with putting this one down first. And I'm just going to use my seal because it tends to be a bit quicker for me. But as I said, this kit is a whopping $13.20 right now until it sells out. It's on the clearance sale, so it's a great way to get some product. And if you don't want to use it as the scrapbook workshop kit, make cards with it. Like, it's still so cheap. So cheap. But $13.20. And if you want to get into scrapbooking and you're sort of not quite sure where to start, then this is another good option on where to start. Just looking to see whether that's bumped up. I think that's buttered up underneath. Yeah, so $13.20 if you're in Australia. If you go to sharonwilson.stampinup.net and go shop now, it'll take you to my store, and you can purchase this kit. Purchase 3 of them, and then you get some product rewards to go with it. So then we have our little candy canes, and this is actually saying 2 inches from the top and 1 inch from either side. Let's put some adhesive on this. Now I want 2 inches from the top, which is about there. And then what have I got? I've got a little set square I bought as well recently. So I want that sort of there. So you've got your candy canes on there, and then we want our little holly strip. And that one's about, what is it, half an inch? Oops. Half an inch from the bottom of the paper. There you go. Half an inch. So that's that one. Oh, I've got a bit of glue on that one. Flip, flip. All right, and then we have our mounts. So we have, that doesn't look right. Is that right? That must be right. So what piece is that meant to be? That one is 1E and 1F. So this is where you sort of, if you haven't marked them separately, 1E is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, so it's not that one. Huh. We'll leave that one and that one, not those two. 1E and 1F, so 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Yes. Okay. Sometimes you just need to make sure you're doing it right. So they've suggested half an inch off this side. So again, I get my little trusty measurement. There. And then half an inch from the top. Okay, so we want to bring this one down a bit. Because I think this has actually gone a bit too high. That's when you improvise. There we go. And then this, we're leaving a bit of gap in between. But there we go. Those two. And then we have our adhesive sheet. And we're going to pull out our Christmas trees. Now, which Christmas tree is it meant to be? I think it's that one and that one. And so because I don't want to put photos down at the moment, I'm just going to try and get some of the sticky stuff off, and I'm just using my clothes to get the fluff off. So I can pop that down there, and so that's actually sticking up a bit, so that's fine. And then that one there, and then we have our Explore. So you can choose not to put these ones on, but I'm going to. You can also use the oils from your fingers just to sort of reduce the stickiness. If you stick it down that side, but not necessarily there, then you should be good. So that is our first page, done and dusted. That's pretty good. All right, second page, page 1B. So over the page we go. And this one, similar layout, pretty much exactly the same. So we pull this one out, this one. So glue onto this page. Oops. Oh, don't do that. No. There we go. So that's that one. And then we get our little blue strip. Nope, that's a bit too, that's not close enough to the edge. There we go. And then we have our candy canes. And again, we're doing 2 inches from the top. So we line up our 2 inches, which is there. And then we line up between the 1 and the 11 and butt it up against it. And then we're 1/2 inch. So if I bring this one back over, I need to make sure that I have actually got it at the same height because it's a continuation. So I did it at oh, I did it the wrong way around. There you go. Yeah, I did it 3/4 of an inch, that's why. So we're going to do the same. 3/4 of an inch. There we go. So you want to make sure that you're doing the same thing on both pages so that it's uniform. And so then the next piece is, that's our journal piece. And then we have a little piece there and then that piece there. And so we want to have the bottom of the pieces all lined up. So we shuffle it up to about there. We can do that. That's our line. That's our line, and then this one is the small one. There. And then we get our adhesive sheet out again. And we've got a little Christmas tree and our little penguin. And we can put our Christmas tree there. A little penguin next to it. I call it a Christmas tree just because it's that shape. It doesn't need to be a Christmas tree. And then we have our Snow Much Fun. So I'm just going to take some of the tacky off again. And just line that up there. And so then I can pop that photo underneath. So 2 pages. The page 1 and page 1A and page 1B. So that's the first pages. So you can actually see it's fairly simple and quick to put together, these ones. So if we go over to our next page, we've got a bit of sponging or a little blending to do. So we've got the two white willow pieces. We have our white willow pieces, and so we can actually do the inking now. What's it saying? No, it's actually saying put the strips down first. So let's put the strips down first. So this is page 2. So we have the holly piece, and then we have, is it that one? Is it that one? Could be that one. And that's that one, I think. And then on the other page, yeah, it's wider, narrow, wide. Okay. So these three are going to get stuck down that way. Now, holly. Nope. Oh, come on. Need to butt up against that one. There we go. And then our snowflakes. There we go. So they're our snowflakes and our strips. And so then it's talking about adhere to D to the base, which I think is actually that one. But I don't think I want to do that. Don't want to do that just yet. I think I want to have that sitting there to work out where I want to. That's 3.5 inches from the bottom. It's saying, which is about there. I've got a pen. So just going to do a bit of a mark there, and then a bit of a mark there, just so I know that's sort of where I want the ink, there and there. The ink blending. I've got my pool party stamp pad, and I don't want too much. Like, I don't want too many sort of lines or anything like that. But maybe I'm just not getting enough anyway. If I put that one back, whether I need any more. Okay, I think I'm okay with that one. All right, so then we want this one 3.5 inches from the bottom. We've got 1, 2, 3.5. And glue. If I've done it right, the blue marks will not be seen. And they won't. There we go. You probably should use a pencil, but that's okay. I don't mind using ink as long as it's covered up. And so then we have, was it 2E? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? No, there's 5. Why is there 5? I don't know why there's 5. What sizes am I meant to have? So white willow, I'm meant to have 2 4.25 by 6.25. That's that one. And then a 4.25 by 4.25, and then a 3.25 by 4.25. Oh, I got 2 of them. Okay, so I don't know. Okay. So what size is which though? So I'm meant to be doing 2E and 2F. 2E and 2F. Okay, not those 3. Oh, probably one piece is actually journaling. That's what it will be. I think I need some more ink up there too, because it's just a bit too stark. Just add a bit of ink, because I did a page ages ago, and I just thought, oh, if only I had done some ink underneath, would have made the photo sort of stand out a bit more. There we go. I think that's better. Okay. So these ones, we're going to be doing it 1 3/4 down and 1/2 inch across. So get my trusty tool. You want to go 1/2 inch across. Oops. Make sure I don't press anything wrong. So when I say how much, 1 3/4 down. Okay, maybe I'll do it this way. That's 1/2 inch. So that 1/2 inch? Yes. That's 1/2 inch. Okay. And then 1 3/4 down. So 1 10.25. There we go. That one's there. So we've got our ink around the outside. And then this one is going to be 3 3/4 down and 2 3/4 in. So let's flip them over, and I'm going 3 3/4, which is about there, and 2 3/4 in. I think. Probably about there. Oh, sorry, about there. All right, so that's that. And then we have our adhesive sheet again. And we have our memories. I'm just going to overlap that slightly. And then we have our little snowflakes. That one, that one. Take some of the adhesive stickiness out of that one. And then we've got a large snowflake and a smaller snowflake for these ones. And for this one, I think I might actually pop the little one up on some dimensionals to really lift it up a bit more. Oops. Oh dear. And then just try and get some of the sticky stuff off the big one. There we go. So you got 2A. And then bring in for 2B. How are we going for time? Not too bad. So again, we're going to do some more ink as well. So we're going to do our strips. That one, this one, ooh, that one. And so we're working from this side in, and we're going to do our holly, or our stripes, I should say. Holly on the back side. And then our snowflakes. And then our holly bits. Oh. And then we're pulling out our ink pads again. And we're going to do a whole heap of ink. Oops. Whoa. Oh, I think we're going to do a bit of ink down there too. Just have some fun with it. This one's going to have a photo mat as well, and it's going to be white photo mat. So I'll try and have a bit of ink so you can stand out and doesn't sort of blend into the background. I'm just using my eye this time. I'm not actually worrying about where it is. So I'll have it, once I sort of put it down, I'll have a bit more of a look. So this one, work out where it's going to go. So I'll bring this page back in again. It's going to be down there. I can probably glue that one down because that's not going to change. So I've got a bit of another photo here, photo there, and then got the photo up here. And we've got little snowflakes popping over here somewhere. And then we also have our journaling. I don't want the journaling or the photos, the photo mat or the journaling to sort of fade into the background. I want them still to stand out a bit from the page. So we're going to have that one sort of probably around there. And then these ones are going to go probably there. That one's actually popped up a bit more. So that one's going to be, it looks like it's even with that one. So we're 1/2 inch in and 2 1/4 inches up. If I do that, 2 1/4, there's about there. So that one's going to go on that point, out there. Yep. So I'm just going to put some glue on that one. Yeah, so you can see that it's oops, I don't want to stick it all the way down. You can see it's standing out a bit more, the stark white. And then this one, I'm going to go about there. So that we're even. Yep. And then that one can go up there. So it's popping up the top a bit. And then, so we have our, this piece that's meant to go underneath that. Out there. This one's going to go, probably meant to go not stick out as much, but that's okay. It's going to stick there anyway. And then we have our, which one is it? This one. This snowflake. About there. Our little tiny snowflake will be underneath. And then we have our 2 big snowflakes and our little snowflake. So if I bring the sheet back over, so you've got the small snowflake up here. This one I'll pop up on some dimensionals. Just going to sit about there. And this one, I think I will. I'll pop it up on dimensionals as well. Then I can pop the photos underneath. Okay, so that's pages 2A and B. There you go. I still need the photos, but quite nice. I like them. All right. And then our last 2 pages, we're a bit long today. That's all right, we're getting 6 pages done. These should be pretty quick. So let's start with the first one. And we have, what is it we have? Prepare. Okay, so that one, maybe that piece. Maybe that piece. And then that piece. And there's going to be, I think it's that one. Oh, and then we've got some strips on the, okay. All right. So let's start with this one. So we're doing 1 inch from the top and 1 inch from the bottom. Oh, let's go this way. That's a bit better. Move that one out. That's going to go about there. Seal. One inch. Oop. Nope. Don't know what I'm doing at the moment. My goodness. Let's try that again by working on this side. Okay, there we go. One inch. Oh. That's that one. And then this piece is going to be 1.5 inches from the bottom of this piece here. So 1.5. And all the way to the edge. So there's that piece. And then dotted green base. Here 3A to the green dotted, yes. Adhere 3B, the pink sticker and the snowflake sticker over 3A. The pink sticker but they're longer. They're both longer. So it doesn't say how long. Oh, okay, a bit longer than that. All right. So I'm going to pull that one off. And I think it's going to go, let's go about there. And that's going to trim off a tiny bit. We stick that one back on. And then we've got our snowflake sticker. We're just going to overlap and go a bit longer again. Okay. And then we have our photo mat, which is going to be that one. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's okay. Yep, that's meant to be there. That meant to be there or a bit higher? I'm going to do it there. And then our photo is going to go on top. And then we have our dot, our pink bit, our pink strip. There, and then our little snow globe. I'm going to go just off the side because I don't want to lift it up and I don't want it to interfere with the photo. So that is 3A. So last page is 3B. So we're going to pull this piece over. We want to make sure that our lines and dots and everything are going the right way, which is going to be that way. And I can get rid of my grid paper. When I bring this piece over, I'm going to grab this one because that is going to be at the same height. So again, we're continuing the page along. So I'll butt those two up together. Like that. And with our little instruction sheet, we have our, where are they? That is going to go over the top, I think. Yes. That's going to go straight over the top. This way, I think. It's ever so slightly better. Oops. Do you know what I forgot? I forgot that piece. Oh dear. Hang on. Ooh, forgot that one. That needs to go on. But again, we need to line that one up with that piece. That. Need to go up a bit higher. Up. There we go. There we go. None the wiser. It's close. It's probably slightly out. And then we have our white. To go. Yeah, no, it has to go that way. Goes that way. And then you've got Fun Day, a little Fun Day. Fun Day. And then we have our photo mats, which, where did I put them? Oh, where did I put them? Huh. Oh, I don't. No, there are no mats. Hang on. No, there aren't. We're just layering the photos on there directly. But we do need the lined sheet. So this one, where is that? So our line sheet is about there. Okay, that's it. So the photos all go there, but we don't actually have any mats because that is the photo mat. Oh, okay. So that is the Snow Days scrapbooking workshop kit. You don't have to do the blending brushes if you don't wish, but I think it adds to them, especially the white one. It adds beautifully to the white one. You could add some blending to the bottom of the pool party pieces as well, and that would actually add a bit of extra definition to the background as well if you'd like. And if you have a mask, you could probably put some snowflakes with blending brushes down the bottom too, if you wanted to. So there, that's page 3A and B. Let's see if we can get them all in the shot. Not entirely, but that's okay. Page 2A and B. And then page 1A and B. So they're the 6 pages that you make. There is still a couple of strips, a couple of bits of adhesive sheet left over. Plus you've got all of these pieces and a full striped and holly piece. So they're all the pieces that you have left over in the kit. So you could still make some more cards or whatever with this. Just grab some stamps, some ink, some more paper, and you could probably make some more cards with that. You could cut out some of the snow globes and actually use them on a card. That's fairly easy as well. So there's a lot you could actually still do with this kit. I probably don't have enough time to do it now. But yeah, you could quite easily do some more cards and everything with this kit, not just the scrapbook pages. So extend the crafting experience. If you don't want to do the scrapbook pages, you can very well purchase the kit. As I said, it's $13.20. Purchase the kit and just make cards with it. So just cut the pool party pieces down. You could cut the designer series paper down. You can make your own cards that you can either send overseas or whatever you'd like to do. So yeah, it is actually a really good kit that you can create with, and it's so cheap. So go to sharonwilson.stampinup.net, click on shop now, and you can have a look at the kits that are available. There are lots and lots of kits, scrapbooking workshop kits. So you could actually purchase them and just make cards with them. You don't have to do the scrapbook pages at all. You can do whatever you like with them. It'll be your kit. But I can show you through a couple of the kits if you like. Let me just share my one, I think. Yep. So this is the scrapbook workshop kit that is $13.20. You are actually meant to get photo mats, but I'm not sure where my photo mats went. They've disappeared. Oh well. But if you go into menu and you go shop by, no, not that one. Hang on. Oh, you can go kits. No, that's not the one either. What am I trying to show you? Shop products. There we go. And you want to go memory keeping, and then scrapbook workshop kits. And so you can see that the Celebrate Together scrapbook workshop kit, that one's discounted because it's got in colours in it. The Memories in Bloom, again, that's got in colours in it, so that's discounted as well. The Turtley Sweet, again, discounted because it's got in colours. The Meant to Be Scrapbooking Workshop Kit, that's actually on the last chance products list, so that's discounted because it's retiring. Again, with a Storybook Life, that again is retiring. That's a beautiful kit too. And you can see there's Reindeer Memories and More, the Halloween, if you're into Halloween, and then obviously the Snow Day, which is on the last chance. So if you haven't actually looked at those kits, go and grab some, because yeah, you can actually make cards with them, not just the scrapbook. You don't have to do the scrapbook pages. So it's a great option for gaining a number of products that you wouldn't ordinarily have. So you get adhesive sheets and everything in it. So for the Celebrate Together, you get these in it. So you get some, I'm not sure which ones. I think that's the sticker sheet, and then you've got that might be a sticker sheet too, or it could be die cut. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, so you've got that's probably the sticker sheet, and then you've got the 2 die cut sheets, and then you've got so you've got beautiful, like some lovely things in there. I love the Scrapbook Workshop kits. They are really, really good. The instructions are really clear, so it's a great thing for new scrapbookers if you want to get into scrapbooking. Maybe you've got a new baby that you want to do some scrapbooking for, or you've got some grandkids, or you've got kids that you want to do some scrapbooking for. Just get them, get a couple of scrapbook workshop kits and have some fun, and just follow the directions, and you can add your own spin to it as well. The gardener has obviously just started mowing outside my window, so I think that's going to be calling it a day. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed seeing me put together the Snow Days scrapbooking workshop kit. I hope I've inspired you to look at purchasing that. As I said, it's $13.20, reduced from $44. I mean, it's just a no-brainer at the moment. On Sunday, I will be at the Parkley Public School Brick Fair. So if you want to come and say hi, come and say g'day at the Parkley Brick Fair, which is at Parkley Public School from 10 till 4 on Sunday. This Sunday, the 17th of August. I'd love to see you and say hello. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again next week. Bye for now.